What's up, everybody? It's your boy Robbie Dagger. That's right, I'm back. I'm back again on Valentine's Day of all days. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. Even if you're chilling at home alone, I love you for what it's worth. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing some time with me. The stream's back. Today is a special day. Not only let me just say, because I love you all so much, I decided today was the day I wanted to do Augmentation class, y'all. So what that means is I'm going to be talking all about augmenting your cards. Like, why you even want to do it. First of all, why do you want to do it? Why would you want to augment your cards? Well, you want to make them stronger. You want to make more money. You want to be getting more skill seeds and leveling up faster, right? So all those things are probably true. So you see, I'm in the card slot here, and I'm gonna be showing you. I'm gonna be looking at this menu right here. So I don't know if you need to get through to a certain part of the story to get the augmentation ability that you can do on your cards. You know. So if you don't have that tab for some reason, then just get through the story. And if that's pretty much the first thing you need to worry about anyways. So that's my advice to you. Just get through the story. But as you can see, whole bunch of cards here. Some of them are 3-star, some of them are 4-star, and some of them are 2-star. And what I want to show you is I have a 1 and a 2-star in here. So right here, so first things first, you should basically try to augment all the cards you can to 3-star. And here's why. It's going to make you a crap ton more money when you sell them off, when you're all done using them for whatever. But then also, you can use them to level up your best cards later on. So I'm talking about using them to level up your 4-stars to maximum potential, to max level 8. And potentially using them to level up your 5-stars. You know what I mean? Using them to, level up this kind of stuff. So basically using them to max out your cards, maxing your cards' damage potential by a whole bunch. As you can see, look at Stone Spike level 2 out of 8. Look at the damage here. Like 275 over 165 attack. 275 break power. That's nowhere near the potential of damage output that it's going to have when it's max level 8. 8 over 8. So you'll hear me say things like 2 over 8, 8 over 8. So if it's too fast, just, you guys can slow me down in the chat. Oh. Yo, what's up, Fernando? I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna definitely show you that. Fernando Barber asks, man, how do you upgrade to a 5-star? Oh, it's doable. And I'm gonna show you exactly how. So, as you can see, you could pretty much augment most cards up to at least 3. There's some exceptions where a lot of cards are not augmentable at all. So, we may briefly touch. Yeah, we will briefly touch on those cards too. Like let's look at this card, the one I just clicked on. Oh man, where'd it go? It's the Fire Gut Impulse. This guy right here. As you can see, he's stuck at 2 stars, but he already has the ability Fire Gut Impulse. So what we're gonna do with this guy is be able to fuse him into this chick right here, Ashura, who has the same ability, Fire Gut Impulse, but she's 8 over 10. So that's what we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at all that stuff. So what I mean by that, let's take a look. Let's take her into the fusion, and as you can see, this little dude right here will give me a 6% chance. So not the best, definitely not the best, but it is a chance. So if you can gather a bunch of these guys, it would, you'd have a chance to level this, a 5-star card, Fire Impulse up, and you can also combine it with, if you have those augment, the special stuff like the Moogle medallion will increase your chance by 50%. So that's definitely good to have as well. So back to the augmentation. So that is the reason that you would want to augment these your cards to 3 stars. So you can use them, you can combine them, you can fuse them together, and then you can max their levels out, and then they'll give you a higher percentage for the fusion to make that card stronger. And I'll show you exactly what I mean with the fusion by fusing some cards. So take a look at this Behemoth Cub card. Gives you Ice Burst. And as you can see, I have it 5/6. So when we go to fuse it up, it looks like it's 20% per card at this level. So I would need 5 cards, 5 of these Behemoth Cubs, to get this ability fusion to 100% success rate. So that's how that works. So what I'll do is I'll fuse these together now, and then this will be a maxed out card afterward. Just like that. And as you can see, look how much more damage potential this card has now that it's maxed out. So it's definitely worth it to max out your cards. And if I didn't have any ability tickets, couldn't get anything extra, this card would be an amazing card still to use on your deck. So 3-star cards are still decent. They'll still get you through a lot, especially in the beginning of the game. So these monster cards aren't totally useless. You can definitely use them for a lot of different things. But my favorite thing to use them for is augmenting your cards. So now I can throw this into a 4 or 5-star version of the same ability. So Fernando Barber was asking, how do you upgrade to 5-star? Let's go back to the cards menu here. Go to card augment, back to that tab, and as you can see, I got a couple of 4-star cards that are able to go up to 5-star. So just before I start willy-nillying, basically these resources are hard as hell to get. Like, let me show you. The one I'm kind of interested in doing right now is Phoenix, because Phoenix gives you freaking Fire, which is pretty dang strong. It's got like a 7 orb cost, which is huge. That's way too much. But, it might be pretty cool. So I might try it out. And I would say, if you're a newer player, stick to cards like Fire, because it's not going to cost you a ton of orbs. Like, this is probably a terrible idea to do this card. I honestly should do Fire because it's more useful, because it has a less cost, if that makes sense. So if you're newer, you're going to want to focus on those cards that do have like a less cost and hit multiple enemies. I don't like the cone abilities. That's why I say go with stuff like, if you like mage type jobs, go with stuff like Fire, things like that. I feel like the the melee jobs in this game do a lot better at single target. That makes sense, but either one is interchangeable. You're gonna be able to do a lot with either job or whatever. So let me just go get a fire guy out of my bank. So definitely don't underestimate the size of your bank. Like, you need to have as big of a bank as possible, because that's where you're gonna store all your upgrade cards. That's where you gotta store any spare cards that you don't have room for in your deck. So, I like to keep it pretty much bare bones in my deck, even though you see I almost have 125 cards in my deck. Ideally, I really do prefer to keep like a lot less cards in there. Here she is. Here's our girl. So let's get Ifrata up to 5-star here. And I'll show you I'll show you the mats too. What am I doing here? Card augment. That's gonna be your best friend. Alright, so look at these mats. You're gonna need, what is it, 1 Gigantar bulb, and then you're gonna need 3 of these Fire Numas. 4-star Fire Numas. So, not the easiest thing to get. To do these, you're gonna have to go into the Pleiades Lagoon on whichever specific day that this element is open, and you're gonna have to finish the hardest fight. And it's not an easy fight, and if you really want to have a good chance at getting the Fire Numa, I believe it's better to do the fight on hard. So this is one of the mats you need to augment your 5-star card up. This one you get from running the Gigantar Terrace. Yep, and that's what you're going to be using your Mystic Tablets on. Let me show you, Kevin Chang, and welcome to the stream. So Kevin Chang asks, how often do these Fire Numas drop, and what do I mean by the hardest fight? So let me show y'all exactly where you gotta go on the map, and like exactly what I mean by the hardest fight. So man, I don't like spinning the world map around. It's feels silly. Alright, so we're looking for ladies. Laddies. I don't know how to say that word. It's a crazy word. So forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. But what I mean by the hardest fight is right now I believe I have the game set to hard. Let me double check. Yeah, the end of the map. So it's usually the one that costs 60 stamina. It usually gives you the best chance at getting the 4-star Numa. And it's a pretty intense fight. I can't auto it. I have to actually do it if I want to actually win the fight. And it's it's 3 fights, but it's like 3 boss type mobs. So good luck in there. I haven't gotten the 4-star Numa in the other 2 zones, like in the easier or medium level zones. So that's why I feel like you gotta go to the very last one. And then you go to the Gigantar Terrace, which is also on the map. Not that map, but where is it? Right here, right next door. The Gigantar Terrace. It's the one right under Shrine of Trials, and it costs 3 Mystic Tablets, and it's pretty worth it. You can use it to farm a lot of skill seeds. So if you're gonna go in there, make sure you're set up to farm a good amount of skill seeds, because you're gonna get some. You can definitely rank up in there, get some levels, tons of skill seeds, and then those Gigantar bulbs drop randomly, but it's a pretty good chance. I would say the chance for the Numa drop, it's something like 50%. I've had a lot of times where I've gone in there and I've gotten really lucky and I've just gotten it after every turn. And then I think the last time I was trying to get these fire Numas, I got burned. And I did 3 in a row and got none, so there definitely is some RNG to it. Kevin Chang asks, what level do you have to be to beat that? Ooh, that's a good question. I would say around 200, to be honest. I'd say if you're around 200, you can probably beat it. If you're 180 and you have a pretty good setup, maybe against that element, you're probably a lot better off. You could probably do it in the lower levels. But you definitely want to take advantage of using your sub job when you go in there, because it gets crazy. It gets crazy quick. Quick. So, this material here, the Shadowy Wing, is a 3-star augment material. And this is taken from the Shadow Dragon. So what you gotta do for this is farm Shadow Dragons. And in the description of this video, I have 2 guides that are really helpful for when you need to find this kind of stuff. So check those out if you are having any kind of trouble tracking down any of the mobs that you need to find the augment materials, and they drop it by chance. It's RNG as well, and it's a better chance if you're fighting them on hard. Kevin Chang asks, it doesn't scale with level? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it works for the Lagoon. That's a good question. I'll have to like make another deck, a lower level deck, and go in there. Maybe try out an Onion Knight or something. Go in there and check that out, because for me, I haven't been able to beat it on a lot of my setups. So, or if I try to auto it, it usually doesn't go well. I usually die. So that's how you augment up to 5-star. Which is what you're going to want. You're going to get so much more skill seeds for having a 5-star card. And they're usually super strong. Personally, I like to stick to only AoE attacks that hit everybody on the board. I don't like the cone or wave damage thing. I just don't like it because I don't like missing enemies on the map. So, for sure, do whichever you prefer. And then I also stick to single target attacks too, just like plain single target attacks. Like Ares is a really good example. Look at how strong he is maxed out. And he's not even 5-star. He's got, 506 attack, 414 break power. The one other thing I will say, one other just like general tip is, no matter what job you play or what job you want to play, like the basic cards, like just Flame Sword that do just damage, like all those cards like Ice Sword, Fire Sword, every job has its own like type of card that will just do single type of damage, or every element I'll say has a type of card that will just do single target attacks, and they'll have ones that just do plain AoEs. So those are the 2 basic cards I would say definitely stick to when you're first building up your deck. If you're brand new to the game, if you're just coming in and not sure what to do, definitely, if you stick to those kinds of cards, you're going to be a lot better off, because they don't have anything fancy on them, but they have a lot of attack and break power on them. And that's, being able to break stuff is like a big deal for kind of like understanding this game. Yeah, I could wipe everything out with Ultimo, but sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't hurt stuff that much. I don't know what that's about. So that's just some general general advice to you. Definitely like look. I say it when you're looking at monster cards, like augment the ones that you feel like you might find useful in the future. Definitely look to the future when you're augmenting those. Don't just augment the cool ones or whatever, because even the augment materials for the that you're going to use on those monsters are pretty limited. So everything's pretty to limited to how much you want to farm, basically. So now, as you can see, we've got this. We basically have this. This is kind of funny, but we have this basically useless Ifrata card because it's 1 out of 10, and it has like no attack, no break power on it. It's got 240 attack, 120 break power. So I wouldn't even use it. So what I like to do is augment my cards without doing anything to them. Okay, this is totally backwards, and I wouldn't recommend this. I'm only doing this to show an example, just to show like all kinds of ways you can get stuff, or all kinds of ways you can upgrade your cards in this game. So what I would never recommend is getting your card to 5-star like this without getting it from without having it max level every time. It's gonna cost me so much more now to as far as farming mats to augment this card to 10 out of 10 because I got it to 5-star without worrying about the ability. So I would have to augment this card in a totally I would have to augment this card in a totally different way, either by buying this card over and over again, which I wouldn't recommend at all, or by using ability tickets that I already have to level it up, which is, I'll just say it's dangerous. It's dangerous, y'all, because you have a limited supply of ability tickets, and I wouldn't recommend this if you haven't been playing the game for a long time. And you know, definitely, I just want to show you all the option. Before I do that, Kevin Chang asks, are fractals the same way as Numas? Yes. Yes, you get them in the same place in that Pilates Lagoon, and you get 4-star fractals, which I would recommend. I would recommend only 4-star fractals. Throw those or sell those 3-star ones out. I don't know why there's 3-star ones, but the 4-star ones are better. From what I've seen and from what I understand, they give you better rewards. F Dash, welcome to the stream, buddy. He asks, is Ariana Grande in this game? How do I unlock her? No, F Dash. That's a FFBE. That's a whole different baby, whole different ball game there. But you know. So, like I said, the best thing to do is to find the monster cards, and you could do that by using those guides I posted below to level up to augment your cards. But sometimes you might not, say there's an event going on, you need to do it quick. Say there's like one card you really need, or you're a whale, and you wanna get this done quick. You don't have time to be fusing cards, playing with dice, playing with numbers, percentages, fusing your cards together, hoping for the best. If you just want to guarantee it and you have the ability tickets, then there's another way you can, there's another way to bypass the system. You know what I'm saying? So in the upper right corner, I'm sorry, I believe my cursor's off, but where it says the level of this card, how it says it's level 26, right above that, there's a little icon, and that's the ability tickets icon, and if you click that, it changes everything up. Everything looks way different. It lets you access this thing right here, right next to the fuse where it says select mode. You can select mode, and as you can see, if I had 232 ability tickets to spare, I could just choose this, max this card up to 100%, not have to worry about a thing. But as you can see, I don't have 232 ability tickets to spare, so until I do, this card is basically going back to, the bank, until I kind of do, because to me, augmenting, I would rather start from scratch, buy that card as a 3-star, and augment that using monster cards, and, keep doing that until it's a 5-star. I'd rather do that than augment it from 5-star, and then throw all my resources at it and hope for the best. Because the percentages that you're going to see as a 5-star are much lower than the ones you would see at lower levels. So that's why you wouldn't want to augment it just the way I did it. I only did it because I didn't think that card was going to cost that many ability tickets at that level. So it does. It totally costs a lot. As you can see, no one's got almost, 250 ability tickets to spare. So definitely do it the smart way. You don't want to be dropping money in this game for ability tickets. That's probably like one of the worst things you can do, just because the prices are awful. So the other way you can score some Numas, fractals, whatever you need, all the if you go to the item shop, all the items that you need to augment your cards are available there for, Magicite. And it corresponds to the day of the Pleiades Lagoon element. So if it's, as you can see, it's Tuesday, so Tuesday's Fire Day for Pleiades, and Tuesday's Fire Day for the item shop too. So you can get your 4-star Numas here, your 4-star Fractals, anything you can imagine, plus the Grow Stars and the Exchangers, which cost tons of Magicite. So I guess if you really can't beat the Pleiades Lagoon fight, this is an option for you, but it's too expensive for these items when you can just farm them pretty easily if you just have a little bit of time. So that's pretty much all I want to say about augmenting cards for right now. It's definitely a labor of love if you want to do it without spending money, but it's definitely worth it. And it definitely ends up being worth it because you end up getting more skill seeds for having higher level cards. And say you want to switch jobs in the future, it's nice to have the ability to augment your cards rather quickly than to have to, do a bunch of legwork starting from the ground up. So that's why I say keep a little stash. Like, start augmenting the cards that you like. Start augmenting them to 3-star. Not that one. Let me show you this one. Cards like this, like Dark Fang, like that's going to be necessary in the future. Start augmenting cards like that to 3-star so you can fuse them all together and use them to level up your actual good 3-star cards, like your ability ones, your ability shop ones. So it's just kind of what I want to say about that. That way they'll be useful for you. in the future. Definitely helps out. And it'll save you a lot of time, a lot of headache. I know it's a hard thing to make a guide about because there's so many ways you can do things, and there's really no wrong way. But it's kind of confusing in the beginning if you don't know where to start. And that's why I wanted to do it in a Q&A format, because there's tons of questions about this. Like, I get questions about this all the time, and it's because it's confusing. It's totally confusing. So one thing I want to point out really quick, just really quick. The reason why you want to get your cards to 3-star, the reason why they're usually useless before 3-star, is because you see this is lesser Ice Wave. That means it's a different ability than the real Ice Wave, and it doesn't count towards Ice Wave at all. That's why you'd want to upgrade this to 3-star. As you can see, after you use all these mats, get it up to 3-star. Check that out. Check this out. It's got regular Ice Wave from normal lesser Ice Wave. So that's pretty sweet. That is how you do it. The other thing is you will rarely find the 1-star and 2-star versions of these same cards once you do augment one of these cards to, once you augment any card to 3-star, you will rarely find. A lot of sources will say you never find the 1 and 2-star versions, but that's not true. I have found them again, like just by farming a ton. But for the most part, you don't find them anymore, and that's a good thing, because you're gonna be able to easily farm 3-star cards, and use them for whatever you need. So I definitely wanted to do this video first, because basically all my other videos are gonna be, I'm definitely gonna be making more videos, that's why, and this is gonna be an easy place for me not to have to break down and do like super long explanations in the future. Hopefully there'll be a lot of good information here, and players can just come here and we can have this as we can start growing a nice community. You know what I'm saying? We can have a nice pool. No peeing in there. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, seriously, no. We could grow a nice community, all help each other out. This is global, you guys. There's a reason I play global and not JP. It's because I can't read Japanese. And also, JP has its own problems. You know what I mean? So, I'm sticking with it. Let me know how y'all feel. Let me know if y'all have any more questions. I'm going back to Pleiades Lagoon. I'll catch y'all later. I'm gonna need some more Numas, more fractals. I'll be farming. So I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for joining me. If you got any questions, post them down in the chat. As always, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that like, hit that comment. If you think of anything later, you can always post your questions in the comments, and I'll come back. And I'm usually pretty good about. I try to answer all the comments, basically. All the comments in there. So, do your thing. I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you. Give yourselves a hug. You deserve it. It's Valentine's Day. I love y'all anyways. And I'll catch you later.